The Superman curse haunted many, but Tyler Hoechlin's complete journey in Superman and Lois proves that not every cape must carry a tragedy. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Playing Superman has always been a double-edged sword, not just because you get compared to your predecessors, but also because the journey often leads to unfinished business. Take George Reeves, the 1950s icon who became a household name thanks to Adventures of Superman. However, he was found dead under mysterious circumstances at just the age of 45, via All That Is Interesting. There's something just so magnetic about Superman. Maybe it's the cape, the way he soars above clouds, or the simple idea that one good person can make a difference. Whatever might be the reason, actors who have taken up the role have found themselves to be permanently associated with the character. But is that for better or worse? Because lurking behind the glory of playing Superman is something much darker, i.e., the infamous curse, as many actors who have donned the suit have either seen abrupt halts, personal tragedies, or incomplete stories. It's a strange pattern, but only Tyler Hoechlin has managed to beat all odds and shattered the curse for good. And of course, how can we forget Christopher Reeve? He was the face of Superman for generations. But budget cuts, collapsing production, and his eventual horse-riding accident erased the chance of him ever returning as the character, via People. It's truly heartbreaking to know that even the greatest Superman never had a farewell. Then we have Dean Cain, whose Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman reimagined the character, but the series ended on a cliffhanger. They teased the arrival of the next season, but it never came, and ABC abruptly canceled the show. Brandon Routh was supposed to star in the sequel after Superman Returns, but it never materialized because the first movie itself flopped hard at the box office. Henry Cavill's tenure was the most bittersweet, as his Man of Steel portrayal was a fan favorite. We hoped to see him in DCU films, but then our dreams were crushed after the studio announced a reboot, and David Corenswet was cast. Unlike his predecessors, Hoechlin was given a proper and poignant ending. In Season 1, we saw him battle Morgan Edge and face revelations about his heritage, followed by a second season where he encountered Bizarro. In Season 3, Lois' battle with breast cancer took center stage, and in the concluding season, we saw the emergence of Doomsday with a heartfelt finale. While all of this occurred on the screen, Hoechlin managed to stay clear of any scandals, career revamps, and thankfully, no personal tragedies happened either. In a role famously marred by unfinished stories, he achieved something historic and proved that the curse isn't a guarantee after all. Tyler Hoechlin is the only one who got a full story, over 4 acclaimed seasons of Superman and Lois. The show followed Clark Kent and Lois Lane as they managed parenthood, cosmic threats, and small-town problems. It was heartwarming to see how his journey came full circle. Tyler Hoechlin has set up the perfect stage for James Gunn and David Corenswet Superman, but it's up to Gunn how he could make it work in 2025. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn is all set to show the world his version of Superman with a brand new actor donning the red cape, and the world is anticipating its release. Kal-El, Man of Steel, Superman, Clark Kent, the names are many, but the character is one. Over the years, a range of different actors brought the iconic superhero to life on our screens, receiving love and support from the audience. From the world of DC Comics, Superman is one of the most beloved characters in the whole world. The S that stands for hope has been a symbol of an optimistic, all-good hero who does not ever go wrong, except maybe a few times. 4 years down the line, the actor is immersed in the character of Clark Kent as the show saw many ups and downs with Kal-El. However, Superman and Lois is currently in its 4th and final season. Back in 2021, the world was introduced to Tyler Hoechlin in the role of Clark Kent, aka Superman in the CW show Superman and Lois. Having a different, but similar, take on the role of Superman, Hoechlin's portrayal was an optimistic, go-lucky character. Although it's a great plan, there might be one little problem with David Corenswet Superman that could ruin the whole thing. That problem was also faced by veteran director Zack Snyder, and his film found controversy. Gunn, on the other hand, has 2 choices. To quote Henry Cavill from Netflix's The Witcher, James Gunn can choose the lesser evil. This timeline coincides with James Gunn's Superman as the DCU director is getting closer and closer to the release of Superman 2025. In a way, Tyler Hoechlin's exit will set the stage for James Gunn to bring in David Corenswet Superman alongside the DCU. What many people missed out on was the fact that Cavill's Superman wasn't trained. He didn't exactly fight with supervillains and invaders every day while growing up. So when General Zod showed up, Henry Cavill's Superman chose the lesser evil by killing him. When Henry Cavill's Superman debuted in 2013 with Man of Steel, the film received mixed reviews. What the film did receive was a ton of controversies and hardcore fans questioning Superman's choice to kill General Zod at the end. James Gunn can choose the lesser evil of having Superman fall a few times only to rise up from the ashes, or he can create a happy-go-lucky guy who is all good with no depths. It's up to the veteran director to decide. At the moment of writing, James Gunn's Superman is set for a release date of July 11, 2025 in theaters. Superman and Lois is available to stream on Max in the US. What many people missed out on was the fact that Cavill's Superman wasn't trained. He didn't exactly fight with supervillains and invaders every day while growing up. So when General Zod showed up, Henry Cavill's Superman chose the lesser evil by killing him. This take on Superman was a very dark, gritty, and ground-based approach for which Zack Snyder received a ton of criticism. That does not mean that he was wrong. For a more realistic style, and the morally gray area that the world is loving right now, Superman needs to learn from his mistakes. But how would mistakes happen if Superman is a happy-go-lucky, optimistic superhero who is just fighting evil? Superman has to stumble and fall in the beginning so that he can learn to fly. If James Gunn were to create a perfect Superman with David Corenswet, it would just be one of the reiterations of this character. However, if James Gunn wants to make a Superman film that people will remember for years, he has to get his hands dirty. Tyler Hoechlin will have the perfect exit from the role since his version of Superman has already stumbled and learned things from his experience. James Gunn's Superman, on the other hand, hasn't even arrived on Earth yet. Tom Cruise sent a cake to Henry Cavill on Christmas after they starred in Mission: Impossible Fallout, and the Superman actor judged it too quickly. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Even though the actor has played many action roles over the years, Mission: Impossible stands out in Cavill's filmography, and for good reason. It would seem, however, that good publicity isn't all that the actor got out of this one film. Even though Cruise and Cavill were opposing characters in the film, they have become quite good friends since they starred in the flick. So much so that the former ended up gifting the latter one of his famous coconut cakes for Christmas. Only, Cavill wasn't as appreciative when he first saw it. Henry Cavill's role in Tom Cruise's Mission: Impossible Fallout has certainly become one of the most memorable moments in the franchise. Despite him playing an antagonist by the end of the movie, he managed to steal the show from Ethan Hunt, not only because of his killer looks but also his excellent fight scenes. It has become somewhat of a well-known fact that Tom Cruise loves to gift his friends something on Christmas. More specifically, Cruise has gained a reputation